The Joe Rogan Experience.
Did you see the fight?
No.
Oh my God, dude! It's one of the greatest heavyweight fights of all time. One of the greatest boxing matches of all time.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet, Jamie? We can't hear you.
Yes, I watched it live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you shit your pants?
No, I was tired, long day, so I was just sort of watching it.
Did you scream out at all?
No,
You don't scream out at things still, do you?
I will on occasion, but I have to be real riled up.
Buckeyes stuff, right?
It depends, really. I'll be honest. I'm trying to think of the last time I did. Actually, something happened. I screamed on occasion.
When Kanye and Kim got divorced?
Yeah, they're fine.
When Kim showed up with that crazy mask on?
No.
Dude, that fight had us screaming. We were screaming.
My
we had an
goodness.
awesome watching party.
Yeah.
Because it was Phil, it was Laura Bites, and it was Tony and I, and
Jimmy
then-
Vitullo and
and then
Joe Marsco.
all these friends of Tony's
Yeah.
and Tony's family, and it was fucking amazing. It was there's something about watching fights with a bunch of people. It's very festive, when everyone's screaming and cheering on. It's like it's more exciting. It's like you got a small crowd. It's almost like you're watching it live. I mean, you are watching it live, but you're almost like watching it in a small crowd.
Yeah. And it was cool because, like, we go to a lot of cities on a lot of different nights. There's never a boxing match like that. Like, we don't ever really do a viewing party like that, but it was so fitting that we were an hour away from Youngstown, which is like a real boxing city.
Yeah.
Boom Boom and Kelly Pavlik and
Yeah.
all those greats that came out of there.
Well, it's just be able to watch that fight live and to catch it live because it was so good. It was so crazy. It was so action-filled. I mean, it was fucking amazing. From Tyson Fury knocking Wilder down early to Wilder looking like he was done. What his right hand? Boom!
Oh, yeah.
He had Tyson Fury on Queer Street. Look at how that punch.
Queer Street?
Look at how that's what they call it. Because you don't know what's going on. It's odd. It's a word for odd. It's an old saying. It's nothing to do with gay folks. Look at this. Boom. Look at this punch. Ooh. Look at the fat. Watch his fat ripple.
Oh, wow.
Look at that ripple.
That's crazy.
All the way
all the way down.
Bro, that's how hard Deontay Wilder punches. Let me see that again. Because there's maybe one or two other humans that have ever lived that can punch as hard as this guy. He's, without a doubt, one of the hardest punchers of all time. So he smashes Tyson Fury while he's getting his ass kicked. Smashes him with his right hand in the fourth round. Look at that fat roll down.
Crazy.
Look at that fat. Look at it roll down. I mean, that's the shock waves that ripple through his head. Most human beings right there are going out. Yeah. Most human beings.
Shitting themselves.
And then he hits him again and clubs him to the ground there. He hit him behind the ear. He's a murderous puncher. But the level of skill was so evident. The difference is Tyson Fury is a masterful boxer. I mean, he's masterful. The shit that he did was amazing. And his strategy was amazing. Just stay glued to Deontay, wear on him, hang on him, make him work, and just drag him deeper and deeper and deeper into these fucking horrible waters filled with crocodiles. Yeah. And that's what he did. And almost got knocked out doing it. Yeah. That's how dangerous Wilder is. Wilder is like the opposite of Usyk. Like Usyk is like this insane boxer who's like this insane footwork and motion. And Wilder kind of looks awkward at times, but if he hits you once, you're fucked.
Yep.
Even if you're one of the greatest boxers of all time, like Tyson Fury. If you're he's without a doubt one of the greatest heavyweight boxers ever. 6'9", 277 pounds, and lightning fast. For a guy that big, he moves so well. His jab's incredible.
I mean, isn't it crazy destiny? What are the odds that guy who could be Paul Jenkins or Mike Smith just as easily, his name is Tyson Fury. A heavyweight god is named Tyson Fury. What are the odds of that?
It's amazing.
Like Mike Tyson, one of the GOATs, Fury, 6'9".
Yeah.
Crazy.
Greatest name of all time.
Yeah. That's like a great comedian. Literally, his parents named him like Funny Pants Smith or something.
Joe King.
Yeah. Hey, we know a Joe King.
Well, his whole family was into fighting. Like he was learning how to box from the time he was a small boy. Like he's always known how to box. Deontay Wilder didn't even take up boxing until he was 19. And Deontay Wilder won a bronze medal in the Olympic Games a year and a half after boxing. Wow. He's a special talent. Just insane power. But the difference in the level of understanding of where to be and where not to be, how to move, how to feint, and how to draw reactions and set traps, the difference is out of this world. But Deontay hit so hard, it almost didn't matter. It almost didn't matter that Tyson Fury was so much more skillful and so much slicker with so much more experience. Tyson Fury hit so fucking hard that it almost didn't matter.
My dad's girlfriend had her head in her hands after that round where Fury got knocked down twice.
It was crazy.
Because she just she felt bad for this guy that was getting beat up on. And I touched her shoulder and I go, that guy's going to come back and win this fight. And she goes, really?
You might have been wrong.
I could have easily been wrong, but
Now you're talking shit.
now I know what the hell's going on.
You didn't know jack shit. No one knew jack shit in that fight. When he got dropped, we all thought it was over. I was like, oh my God, he's fucked. Because he got hit hard. You could tell. Like when he got up, he was not really there. And then when he got clubbed in the back of the head and fell down again, or behind the ear and fell down again, I was like, oh my God. But then he came back. He did come back. The craziest comeback ever was him in the 12th round of the first fight. That was the craziest. That's nuts. That didn't even make sense. But there was some controversy about this fight. And one of the controversies was the extremely long counts when Tyson Fury went down. Cormier believes Fury benefited from crazy slow count. That's right. After being knocked down by Wilder. Daniel Cormier believes the referee made a bad call in the 4th round versus Fury versus Wilder 3. Well, he's correct. This is what happened. The count is supposed to, the referee is supposed to go 1, 2 when the guy goes down. But if for any reason he has to interrupt the count because the fighter, the opponent needs to be told to go to the neutral corner, you're supposed to pick up the count where the ringside counter has it. So there's a guy who's counting ringside and he'll keep the count going. So if you're at 1, 2, and then you're like, go to a neutral corner, that guy's supposed to be like 3, 4, 5.
As it should.
But he didn't.
Oh.
He went back to it. 3, 4, but the guy had already been down for a couple seconds. Without a doubt, it was a long count.
That's bullshit.
It's
That's the
bullshit.
problem with boxing, though. That's what people have a problem with. That's like considered kind of like bullshit.
It's
like,
one of two things. It's either a mistake and the guy made an error, or maybe there's a. I don't think there's a different law in Vegas. I don't think there's a rule that allows them to do that. I think it's an error or corruption.
Right.
Most likely an error. Most likely the guy's panicking. He's in this huge fight. I don't know how many big high-profile fights. I'm not that well-schooled on boxing referees. I know a few of them. I used to know more of them back in the day, but I know a few of them. I don't know if I've seen that guy work before. So I don't know if he's panicking. But boxing's got a lot of...
There should be somebody overseeing him, though, that goes, hey, you can't do that.
Exactly. There should be a thing that's like loud as a guy goes down. Here's my take on it. It shouldn't be up to the referee to count. It shouldn't be, he can go 1, 2, 3, or he can go 1, 2. It shouldn't be that. There should be a count.
Right.
It should be 10 seconds, and there should be like a LCD screen.
Yeah.
And when a guy goes down, it starts at 10. And when when it gets to, or it starts at 1 or 0 or whatever.
I feel like Japanese or Chinese, they do that, right? Something like that. I feel like I've seen that before.
In what? In boxing?
I feel like it's a different thing. It's like a loud over the 1, but it's like Chinese words or whatever.
Well, I know they've done that on some boxing telecasts where you hear the ringside count. I know that for a fact. And I know guys have picked it up at picked it up at 5, 6. But in this case, there was without a doubt like a gap where he was directing some stuff inside the ring, and then he came back and picked up the count. So it was definitely long. The question is, could Fury have gotten up? Maybe, but could he have gotten up 2 seconds earlier, 3 seconds earlier, whatever the extra count was, and could Wilder have jumped on him and hurt him again? Yeah, that's possible too. You don't know. I mean, when a guy gets that hurt, if you give him any extra time, is a bonus. Any 3 seconds, 4 seconds, that makes a big difference. That's between the world spinning and all of a sudden the world's not spinning anymore.
Well, I noticed that ref kept doing that. Put your gloves up. Now walk towards me with your gloves up. And then he would wipe the gloves. Like he did it each free. At least he kept it sort of consistent, but
that's standard.
Yeah.
That's standard. Because you got to find out if a guy goes down and then you go, put your gloves up, walk towards me, and he walks towards you and he's like starts stumbling, stop the fight.
Right.
Because you don't know. It's just guesswork. And it's all subjective, right? One referee will stop a fight when a guy is getting fucked up, and another referee will let it go. There's a lot of referees who would have stopped this fight earlier. There's quite a few referees where when Tyson Fury was battering Deontay Wilder, they would have stopped the fight. And this was Wilder's argument about the first fight or the second fight when he did get stopped. He felt like he could have kept going. Judging by this fight, he probably is correct. He probably could have kept going, but he might have gotten knocked out there. But he could have kept going. Like in this fight, it looked like in that one round, I think it was the second, where Tyson Fury dropped Deontay Wilder and he barely survived and he made it to the end bell. What if that was the beginning of the round? You know, what if you know, who knows? It's you never know. So could he have gone on from the second fight when they stopped the fight? Probably. You know, maybe it was like for his health that his corner threw the towel in and stopped the fight. Maybe they know him and they know how tough he is. That's what you see in this fight. You see how fucking tough he is, how much pain and how much punishment he endured and still was dangerous, still hurt Fury, and still hurt him again after that, right? He hurt him one other time later. Didn't drop him, but hurt him. So he hurt him on a few occasions. But when he went out, man, he went out bad. He went out bad. That's a bad knockout.
Yeah.
That was a bad, and Tyson Fury said it best. He goes, that's the kind of knockout that can end a career.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not, but that was a bad knockout.
His eyes
show,
were closed.
Show the knockout. He wings a left hook, misses it, and steps in with a right hand that just spins his head around. It was crazy.
Yeah, hitting the mat like woke him up. He was out on his way down.
Yeah. And when we were watching it, we were like, this is the greatest fight I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. So fun.
But the thing is, it's like, does he comes back from that? Like, he's 35. I think his trainer said he doesn't want him to even think about it. He just wants him to do nothing but rest. Don't even think about boxing. Just take a rest. You earned it. Like, let's just don't get all anxious and ramp up for the rematch, because that's what he did for this fight apparently. When he got beaten in the second fight and he felt like there was all sorts of controversy attached to it, and it got real ugly with the accusations. Like he all but accused his trainer of being involved in it. It was his trainer who was Mark Breland. Let's watch this again. Look at this. Watch the end. The left, here's the right. Boom.
Oh, that.
I mean, bro.
Out.
That is crazy. That is a crazy knockout. And in a fight, look at one more time. See it again. He hits him with the right hand. He knows he's got him hurt. Lets him go. Left hand. Here's the left. Misses with the left. Well, there, boom. He clipped him with the left too. But the right was perfect. Fuck. What a fight. And when it was over, we were like, holy shit. What a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
One of the most exciting boxing matches of all time, for sure.
Hell yeah. Crazy that a guy's 6'9" going up against a guy's 6'6". Like that's
6'7".
True heavyweight. Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. True heavyweight fight.
The other thing was Deontay Wilder was 238 for that fight, which is the heaviest of his career. He was 209 for their first fight. Yeah. And it's like, you know, is that good? Was it good to put all that extra weight on? Like, maybe. Maybe it helped him fight him off. Maybe it hindered his movement. If you could teach Deontay Wilder footwork, like real footwork, like how to bounce and move and slide in, slide out, and not be awkward at all, to be slick, God, with that punch, it's almost like the punch it's almost like it hinders a fighter in a certain way to have that kind of power, because you know all you have to do is hit a guy. So all you're thinking about doing is hitting him. And it worked 41 times. Like he's knocked out 41 guys, or 40. I think he's like 41. Yeah, he had one decision out of his 41 victories, which is crazy. That's the craziest record in the history of the sport. There's not a single guy that's knocked out as many guys as Deontay Wilder has. If you could teach that guy how to move like Tyson Fury does, if you could teach that guy how to pretend he doesn't have any power, like just really develop real boxing skills, just move and just almost pretend you can't break an egg. Just be in the right position always and just touch people. Just touch, because he hits so fucking hard, man. But people that have that kind of power, for whatever reason, they always, not always, but a lot of times they rely on it because it's so extraordinary. They just know that all they have to do is land that one shot. The guys who are like the masterful boxers, they never have that, like the Julio Cesar Chavez's of the world. He's one of the most masterful boxers ever. But he never was like a one-punch guy. He would break guys down. He would very rarely stop someone with one punch in the first round. Most of the fights, it was just him just beating the shit out of people, like super technically, and he would just move in and throw shots, and every shot was coming your way, was accurate, and eventually he'd break fighters down and smash them. But if you could get a guy like Deontay Wilder to pretend he doesn't have power and to learn how to box like a Julio Cesar Chavez, he'd have like one of the greatest fighters of all time. Watch the entire episode for free only on Spotify.